4.5 seconds. That's how fast Tesla's new production line at Giga Texas can now spit out a complete vehicle, breaking their own world record. The car? Leaked reports point to the Model 2, priced between $20,000 to $30,000, targeting double the Model Y's production volume. While your espresso machine brews 1 cup, 6 Teslas roll off the line. But here's the real question. How is this even possible? We're talking about casting an entire chassis in one shot, eliminating 400 welds, removing 450 robots from the factory floor. Is this the manufacturing breakthrough that finally makes EVs affordable for everyone? Or just another rumor that sounds too good to be true? Let's talk about what's really happening inside Giga Texas because honestly, the first time you see these numbers, they don't make sense. They feel like someone made a mistake with a decimal point. Traditional car manufacturing has always been this incredibly complex dance of metal, robots, and human precision. Take the Model Y's rear section. It used to need 70 different metal parts, hundreds of welds, and an army of robotic arms just to hold everything together. Each weld is a potential weak point. Each connection needs inspection. Each bolt needs tightening. The whole process took several minutes and cost a fortune when you added up labor, maintenance, and the inevitable defects that come from piecing together dozens of components. Then Tesla asked a question that seems almost too simple. What if we just made it in one piece? That's where the Giga Press comes in. Elon calls it a matchbox car maker scaled up to real life. And that's actually not far off. This machine delivers 50,000 tons of clamping force. To put that in perspective, that's like parking 25 fully loaded semi-trucks on top of your car. The molten aluminum pours in, gets pressed into shape in about 2 seconds. Then robotic arms yank it out, dunk it in a 50-degree water bath, and drop it straight onto the assembly line. No waiting around, no storage, just continuous flow. Here's what gets me about this whole thing. Tesla didn't just figure out how to build cars faster. They eliminated over 400 welds and removed roughly 450 robots from the production floor. Think about what that actually means. Fewer welds equal fewer places where things can go wrong. Fewer robots mean lower maintenance costs and less downtime. And a single unified aluminum casting creates a structure that's actually stiffer and lighter than all those bolted together panels. For an EV, where battery weight is already eating up a huge chunk of your mass budget, every pound you save in the frame translates directly into better range. Now, Giga Texas isn't just another factory. Tesla runs 5 major production facilities worldwide. Shanghai cranks out Model 3 and Model Y for Asia with the highest capacity in their entire network. Fremont handles the full lineup. Berlin focuses on European production. Nevada builds the Semi. But Texas is different. Walk through that place and you'll notice something unsettling. There are almost no people near the actual production line. It's mostly robotic arms moving with this eerie precision, massive casting machines running non-stop, automated systems managing everything. The line moves so fast that workers literally can't get close to it during operation. And look, I get why that makes people uncomfortable. But when you're shooting for one vehicle every 4.5 seconds, human hands just can't keep up. We become the bottleneck. The real question nobody's asking is this. If Tesla can do this in Texas, what happens when they copy this system to Shanghai, Berlin, and whatever comes next? The Model 2 itself is where things get really interesting and honestly, a little controversial. The leaked specs show exactly where Tesla cut costs to hit that $20,000 to $30,000 target. No synthetic leather seats, just fabric. No heated seats. No fancy ambient lighting. No premium sound system. Single pane windows instead of acoustic glass. No panoramic roof. If you're used to a Model Y, stepping into a Model 2 is going to feel like a downgrade. But here's the thing everyone seems to be missing. Tesla isn't trying to give you Model Y luxury at a lower price. They're going after a completely different buyer. Someone driving a used Honda Civic who wants to go electric but can't drop $40,000 on a car. Someone who needs reliable transportation and doesn't care about heated seats or a glass roof. The Model 2 isn't competing with the Model 3, it's competing with every affordable gas car on the used market. Yet there's something fascinating buried in what Tesla kept. Despite stripping out all the comfort features, they're reportedly keeping the full self-driving hardware, all the cameras, the processing power, everything needed for autonomous driving. Why spend money on expensive FSD tech for a budget car? Because Tesla's playing a longer game here. Every Model 2 isn't just personal transportation. It's a potential robo-taxi once regulations catch up. That $20,000 car could be generating income when you're not using it. Tesla isn't building cheap cars. They're building infrastructure. The efficiency numbers back this up in a way that's almost hard to believe. Reports suggest 300 miles of range from just over 50 kilowatt hours of battery. That sounds impossible until you break it down. Lightweight construction thanks to those massive castings. Optimized aerodynamics. Next-gen battery tech. When you stack all that together, 300 miles from 50 kilowatt hours starts to make sense. Compare that to competitors struggling to get 250 miles out of 60-plus kilowatt-hour packs, and you see how wide the gap really is. Now let's address the elephant in the room. How do you actually build a car in 4.5 seconds? Because that sounds like complete nonsense. And in one sense, it is. You can't build a complete car from scratch in 4.5 seconds. That's not physically possible. But that's not what's happening. Tesla uses parallel production. While one car finishes final assembly, another is getting painted, a third is having its drivetrain installed, a fourth is coming out of the Giga press. It's like an airport where planes are constantly boarding, taxiing, taking off, and landing all at once. The 4.5 seconds is the cycle time, the gap between finished cars rolling off the line. A factory pumping out one vehicle every 33 seconds makes about 2,600 cars per day, running 24/7. Scale that across multiple lines, and suddenly Tesla's ambitious targets don't seem so crazy anymore. But let's be real for a second. Hitting these speeds in testing is very different from maintaining them during full production. Tesla's track record here is mixed at best. Remember Model 3, production hell, in 2018? Elon was literally sleeping at the factory trying to fix bottlenecks. Model Y ramped faster, but still took months. Cybertruck production has been way slower than promised. So when we hear about these incredible numbers, we should probably expect reality to fall a bit short. What I find most interesting is the strategic shift this represents. For years, Tesla focused on margins over volume. Model S and X were luxury vehicles with luxury prices. Model 3 started as the affordable option at $35,000, but quickly crept upward. Model Y became their best seller because it hit the sweet spot for American buyers, not because it was cheap. Tesla built a premium brand and charged accordingly. So why suddenly go after the budget market? One word: China. Specifically, BYD. While Tesla was perfecting premium EVs, Chinese manufacturers figured out how to build affordable ones at massive scale. BYD's Seagull sells for under $10,000 in China. Their Dolphin and Yuan Plus offer solid features at prices Tesla can't touch. And in 2024, BYD outsold Tesla globally. They proved that affordable EVs aren't just a viable market, they're potentially the biggest market. Tesla's absence here is becoming a real problem. In Asia, South America, parts of Europe, a $40,000 Model 3 is out of reach for most buyers. But a $25,000 Model 2? That changes everything. This isn't just about fighting BYD in China. It's about establishing presence in markets where EV adoption is exploding, but price sensitivity is extreme. The implications for the industry are massive. Traditional automakers still operate with 50 to 60-second cycle times. Ford's F-150 Lightning makes about 1 truck per minute. GM's Ultium platform is nowhere close to Tesla's efficiency. Even VW's MEB platform can't match these speeds. The gap isn't small, it's enormous and getting wider. The Giga Press alone gives Tesla a multi-year head start. You can't just buy one of these machines and figure it out. Tesla's been refining this technology since 2020. They've spent 4 years learning about metallurgy, cooling rates, mold wear, quality control. By the time Ford or GM get their own systems running smoothly, Tesla will be on the next generation. Now, we need to inject some honesty here. All of this comes from leaks, not official announcements. Tesla has a well-known habit of overpromising on timelines. Full self-driving was supposed to be ready by 2018. The new Roadster was announced in 2017 and still hasn't shipped. Cybertruck took years longer than promised. When Elon gives a timeline, it's safer to assume delays. But dismissing everything as hype would be wrong too. The Giga Press is real. You can watch it operate. Tesla's production speeds have improved every year. Giga Texas is operational right now. Even if the Model 2 launches late, even if it costs $28,000 instead of $20,000, even if range comes in at 280 miles instead of 300, the core advantage remains. The 60% reliability estimate on these leaks probably means the big picture is accurate. Tesla is building an affordable vehicle. They're using advanced GigaPress tech. Production is centered at Giga Texas, but specific details like exact pricing and firm launch dates are still moving targets. The $20,000 figure might be production cost, not sale price. The 300-mile range might be ideal conditions, not real-world driving. What we know for sure is that Tesla is pursuing affordability in a way they never have before. The competitive pressure from China is real. Whether the Model 2 launches next year or the year after, whether it costs $22,000 or $28,000, the direction is clear. Tesla is betting that the future belongs to affordable EVs at massive scale, not premium vehicles in limited numbers. For regular people, this could be the moment EVs finally match gas cars on sticker price, not just long-term cost. That would remove one of the biggest barriers to adoption. For competitors, it's a warning that the gap is growing, not shrinking. For investors, it raises fundamental questions about which business model wins the next decade. The automotive industry is about to find out if speed really does kill, just not in the way anyone expected. So here's what this really comes down to. Remember that question from the beginning? How is building a car in 4.5 seconds even possible? Now you know. It's not magic. It's not shortcuts. It's the complete reimagining of how vehicles get made. One massive casting replaces 70 parts. Parallel production lines create continuous flow. Automation operates at speeds human hands can't match. This is exactly why Tesla keeps breaking their own records, while competitors are still trying to understand the previous generation. But here's the bigger picture that matters beyond just one factory or one car. The Model 2 isn't really about Tesla making a cheap EV. It's about proving that electric vehicles can finally compete with gas cars on the one metric that's always held them back: upfront cost. If Tesla pulls this off, if they can profitably sell a quality EV for $25,000 with 300 miles of range, they're not just winning a market segment, they're removing the last major excuse people have for not going electric. And this is just the beginning. Once Giga Texas perfects this process, what happens when Shanghai adopts it? When Berlin scales it up? When the next factory comes online already optimized for this speed? Tesla isn't just building faster than everyone else right now. They're building the manufacturing knowledge that compounds with every new facility. The gap doesn't close, it widens. The next 18 months are going to be critical. We're watching to see if these leaks turn into reality, if the Model 2 actually launches on schedule, If Tesla can maintain these production speeds at scale, BYD and the Chinese manufacturers aren't sitting still either. This race is far from over. What do you think happens when a $25,000 Tesla with full self-driving hardware floods the market? Does it force traditional automakers to finally get serious about EVs? Does it accelerate the robo-taxi timeline? Drop your thoughts below because this conversation is just getting started. This is Tesla Zone, and we break down the tech that's reshaping transportation. The Model 2 story is still unfolding, and when official specs drop, you know where to find the analysis. The future of affordable electric vehicles isn't coming. It's being cast in molten aluminum, pressed in 2 seconds, and rolling off the line faster than you can finish your coffee.